when the Stafford thing was coming out, I liked the idea, but the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, not for a first round pick though. 2 2s, yeah, that's cool. And then people on Twitter be like, well, you're not going to get him then. I was like, well, all right. And then boom, 2 first round picks in a third and Goff for Matthew Stafford, who's good, but wow, he's 33, never won a playoff game. So now I'm thinking the Raiders are like, well, maybe we should get 2 firsts for Derek Carr. So what is the ripple effect around the league you think of this trade?
So it's a twofold conversation, right? With what the Rams did, the Rams had to offer, a ton more to send to them because they were just like, we can't just do Goff, right? So, they had to find a way to unload that contract, right? And then, you're talking about what the Lions gave up. When you see those 2 firsts for them, like, this is why I tweeted right after the trade, right? Cooler heads prevailed, and I was like, if you're the 49ers, right? If you're a 49er fan and you saw that they gave this up about Matt Stafford, you would not like it. You would not like that.
Oh, man, I would be making fun of them to this day. To this day.
But yeah, no way on that. And, and from, whatever was floated out there on the internet, it would never felt like that was something that was a possibility. Again, when someone comes to you and you say, listen, I have this, this slice of pizza, I want $5 for it. Well, somebody says, I'm going to come and give you $1,000 for it. Yes. No. I'm not, no,
right,
it's not worth it.
I lost. I'm out. I fold. You win the pot. Take it. Take the pizza. Yes.
Yeah. And I think that the thing that I learned is that all situations are fluid. No one, like all things happen, at the last moment, people swoop in and things like that. Like it's just a business. And I think this past week was a huge learning experience for all of us of how this business moves and how these trade talks can change.
Yeah. I mean, I think what happened was the people in the know expected the Niners to be the favorite. They were the favorite in Vegas. It initially was Indy. Then the odds shifted to the Niners. And I'm sure people, from what I understand, the people very close to the situation, as close as it freaking gets, were under the impression the Niners were going to be in the lead. But that's like handicapping a horse race before it starts. You don't really know. And then boom, like the Rams come off the second rope with 2 first round picks. Like, yeah, they no one saw that coming. And then when it happens, everyone's like, hey, tip your cap, the Rams, the long shot, you pulled it off. You had the inside, nice.
No Gus McClary, man. I love it.
Good job.
I love it. I love it. And my point about McVay too is like everybody's like, oh, well, you're trading away all your first round picks. Who says Sean McVay's going to be here in 3 years?
That's my point. I don't think he's going to be here in 3 years. I think
why do I care about 5 years down the line your first round pick when I'm not going to be here? I'll win a Super Bowl in that time and I'm out and someone else will hire
That's
me.
What's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. It's like when the Rams are done with Aaron Donald, that team's going to have – it's going to be like the Niners after Willis and Justin Smith left. It's going to be bad for a few years. McVay doesn't have to stick around for that. Just get the ring, move on, and he's got 40 years left in this business. Like, he doesn't need to be with the Rams for all 40. So, yeah, I see it the same exact way. But look, one more thing. The effect of this move. All of a sudden, it emboldens the Raiders like, oh, we got an asset over here. No, you don't. And second of all, I think it emboldens the Niners. Like, wait a second. Maybe we should hold on to Jimmy. I mean, he clearly has no value now because of the injury. That's just the way it is. And Sean down here saying, why can't you extend Jimmy to create the illusion you want him and make the contract palatable, then trade him? Because of the injuries. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can do. He's damaged goods. He would need to come back, play another year, and last 16 games for the Niners to trade him. But I think the Niners might be feeling like, hey, instead of cutting him or trading him for a seventh and, admitting that we messed up, we shouldn't have given him the deal. We shouldn't have done this and that. We blew it. Let's hold on to him one more year, see if we can rehabilitate his value, trade him next year, maybe get 2 firsts or 1 first. That's how I interpret what's going on now with like all of Jimmy Garoppolo's best friends going on NFL Network being, I really like Jimmy. Like, oh yeah, you really like Jimmy, huh? Because he's coming back and you know it. Is that how you interpret this or am I tripping?
No, I mean, honestly, when you see things, everybody compares whatever they're looking for to someone else's deal, right? So when you see that happen, you're just like, oh, well, like you said, 2 firsts for Stafford. Come on, man. Like, let's go, with all those things. And you know what? I kind of was a little bit on the, conspiracy theory side of like, okay, so George Kittle's on every single network. Raheem Mostert's out there saying, but kind of got some info that said that George had that all lined up. It just coincided with everything, right? So me, first, I put on my tinfoil hat and I'm like, wait a minute. First take, Rich Eisen, Good Morning Football, every show. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, hold on a second, because, I'm thinking the 49ers are sending him out. But apparently he had this all lined up, ready to go with Old Spice. So it's funny. It's a nice little coincidence. It just makes you think a little bit more. Things that make you go, But I at first was full tinfoil hat. Had to change my tune when I kind of find out that he already had that all kind of planned out. So,
sure, it's just a very convenient.
Oh, it's very convenient.
Man, you're going to be on TV all day today. I think it's a good day for you to answer some Jimmy questions. Hey, George, we're gonna ask you to answer some Jimmy questions.
And every single person asked him about it. Every single person. They all.
And it wasn't just Kittle either. It was Mostert. One thing interesting about what Mostert said is he was like he went off script. Like veered way left and was like, yeah, we like Jimmy, but it's a business. I don't really know what's going on with that. And, the way the league is evolving, if you can bring in a mobile quarterback, that always helps. It was like, wow, Raheem, do you have anything else? Any more feelings you want
to what I really liked? I thought that the clip of the line that really got to me was, but we don't know the business side. Hedge your bets there, Raheem. Hedge your bets.
And the thing about the mobile quarterback is real specific. To me, it tells me like, hey, if they trade for Derek Carr, we'll be scratching our heads. But if they trade for Deshaun Watson, see you, Jimmy. Thanks for everything. It's been real. We're going to the Super Bowl. That's what I read. That's how I read into it. Like,
and I
bring on Deshaun Watson. You're gonna lose.
I think that all the players understand that business side of it. Like if I'm a player, right? If I'm a player and I know my own value, I come into an office and they say, we just got a first round pick for you. I'm already packing my bags. I understand that it's time to go for a first rounder. That's I'm
flattered that this team likes me that. I'm just that good. Sorry.
It's almost like, man, I don't want to leave, but I understand the business. It's a first rounder. So I mean, that's kind of where I was at with Raheem. Raheem said all the right things when it came to talking about Jimmy, but that portion that you were talking about, and then the business portion of that line was the one that I was like, okay, so now everybody's hedging their bets. Kittle didn't do any of that. Kittle was just like, he's my guy. This is it. Boom, 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 boom. You knew that Kittle was going to say that. He's said the same thing over and over and over and over.
He says the same stuff about Beathard. Whatever. That's my guy. He's great. CJ's so good. I mean, he'll say whatever, man. I mean, sorry, George, if you're watching, but you're just being a good teammate. I don't actually.
George, I love you, bro.
I love you, George, but come on, man. You say the same stuff about all your teammates. How good is Trent Taylor, George? Tell me. I'd love to hear. He's fantastic, right? He's the best. So, okay.